Okay, let's begin. Can you have your videos on, please? In the previous class, we finished with lesson 19, that is a prayer for healing. And today we'll start with lesson 16, My Only Cry, which is also a poem. Okay, we'll be starting with 16th chapter, My Only Cry. Now, you must have heard of the wars, the battles that took place in the early times. Okay. Now, during one of these, two atom bombs were dropped on the two Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. This is famous. This is a famous incident of atom bombs, and it was dropped on two Japanese cities in the year 1945. And you can tell how much destruction, death, and sickness it caused. Now, since that time, the world has become a storehouse of very dangerous weapons. Okay, weapons are manufactured here. Okay, missiles and bombs and arms are manufactured in the countries. Okay, so that they can make their military more stronger to defend. Okay, to become more powerful than other countries and to protect itself from other countries. Each country is buying or building more and more destructive weapons. Okay, to uh, become more powerful, to defend itself, to be able to protect itself from other countries. Each country is building or buying more and more destructive weapons. Right now, though, if you heard, like when this recently, a few months back, we were hearing that a nuclear attack might take place. Okay, we were hearing that a nuclear attack might happen. Okay, but it was like we have a treaty. We have a treaty, and many countries have signed this treaty related to nuclear attack that they cannot just do it. Okay, they cannot just do a nuclear attack like that. Okay, it's a long process, and it is a treaty that until you are not attacked, you cannot just attack somebody with nuclear weapons. So, do the adults not know the danger of building and collecting huge amounts of arms and ammunition? Do they not know that these weapons can destroy the world in which their children will live tomorrow? Here we present a touching appeal for peace by the children in the world. Now, use of weapons, bombs, missiles, they cause destruction. That is for sure. One thing that is for sure is that destruction is caused when these weapons are used to, when the countries use it to attack each other. Okay, the houses fall, families scatter, people are killed. Okay, they become homeless, and so on. So this chapter is an appeal for from the children. Okay, for peace. Let's give this a read. My only cry, close the arms factories. Who are you deceiving? You ask me to speak to children. But I shall also address you, the grown ups. I am still a child. I don't know how to lie like you. All the children in the world, O adults of the world, could not rebuild what you destroyed. A better world won't be able to be rebuilt without you, the adults. You know that our cries are useless in a deaf world. Now, my friends, let's not talk of friendship, peace, and fellowship. These words should be spoken by adults. Enough promises, enough waiting. Come, everyone, let's ask them to stop making arms, to stop making wars break out, to stop telling lies. Listen carefully. We are sick, you are sick, but we are here. So, in your name, we children, we ask them, close your arms factories and think about taming the winds. Right wing politics matter little to us, we are children. Left wing politics matter little to us. Our life is essentially affection, but through your fault, a veil of dust lies over it. Okay, this is a poem by Leila Ibrahim Siman. Now, the children are telling to the adults, who are you deceiving? Okay, and the poem is addressed to grown-ups, okay, especially the people who are making arms and who are, planning for wars and uh, the, people of arms factories and so on. Okay, and the poem is addressed like this: that I'm a child and I don't know how to lie like you, and all the children of the world cannot cannot rebuild what you destroy. Means what the adults destroy, all the children of the world cannot rebuild it, and a better world won't be able to be rebuilt without the adults. The children are telling them, okay, and then they are telling that their cries are useless in a deaf world. Means when they are pleading for peace, okay, it's not heard, and they are also telling that the things such as friendship, peace, and fellowship, this should be spoken by adults. Okay, means adults should show friendship, peace, fellowship. And then they are telling enough promises, enough waiting, and asking them to stop making arms, to stop making wars break out, and to stop telling lies. Okay, what does this mean by stop telling lies? Um, See, when like this thing happens, huh? Stop telling lies. Okay, when the wars break out. Okay, and when distraction takes place, usually people say that we did it for the protection of our own country. Okay, we did it for the protection of our own country, or we did it for our own good. But that is just a reason, just another reason. The main thing is that the destruction that is caused. Okay, like even though they are doing it for a protection or something, but that doesn't limit or that doesn't stop the destruction that is caused when the weapons are used, when the bombs are used and missiles are used. That doesn't stop the destruction. Okay, houses will fall, families shatter, people are killed. Okay, people will become homeless. They lose their everything in the wars and these things. So uh, to stop making wars break out and stop telling lies that this is for our good. Okay, listen carefully. We are sick. You are sick, but we are here. Sick means tired of this thing. So, in your name, we children, we ask them, close your arms factories and think about taming the winds. Okay, think about controlling it. Okay, think about taming the winds. Now, the children are also telling that the right wing politics, left wing politics, they don't matter to the children. Okay, the reasons behind the attacks, and all. Okay, whatever politics goes on, they don't matter to children, but their life is only affection. Okay, but because of the fault of adults, a veil of dust lies over it, over affection, over peace. Okay, veil of dust lies over this because of the adults. So this is the poem. This is the poem. Any doubt in the poem? Anything you didn't understand? Please ask.
No,
Okay. Daniel and Miracle.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Word means deceiving, means giving a false impression or telling lies. Fellowship means companionship and friendship. Taming here means controlling the destructive ideas of countries and people and using them for the welfare of mankind. Okay. Taming means controlling the destructive ideas of countries and people and using them for the welfare of the mankind. Right wing politics. The right wing politics here in the poem is a political ideology that promotes and supports a rigid and traditional social order. Okay. Political ideology, what does that mean? That means a perspective of politics, okay, a political perspective that promotes and supports a rigid traditional social order. What does that mean? See, I'll explain it to you in a simple language. When there is um, a rule, for example, okay, for example, when there is a rule that is going on from ages, okay, a rule that's going on from ages or from many, many years. So that is traditional now. Okay, that is traditional because that is going on from many, many years. And it is now because it is going on from so many years, now it has become rigid. Rigid means something that cannot be changed. Okay, rigid means something that cannot be changed, that cannot be modified. Okay, that is rigid. So such a political idea, such a political perspective, which promotes and supports a rigid, okay, means an unchangeable and traditional social order. Okay, that is what is right wing politics. What is left wing politics? Again, a political ideology, a political perspective, which promotes the rights of the underprivileged and weak sections of the society. Okay, political ideology, left wing politics is a political idea which promotes the rights of the underprivileged and weak sections of society. What are the underprivileged and weak sections of the society? In India, the SC, ST, scheduled castes and tribes, and women and children are considered underprivileged and weak sections of the society. Okay, especially SC, ST, OBC, and the widow women, the poor children. All of these are considered underprivileged and weak sections of the society. Okay, the ST, SC, OBC, underprivileged, weak sections, women and children are considered the weaker sections of the society. So that is left-wing politics. Promoting the right of the underprivileged and weak sections is left-wing politics. Essentially means fundamentally and basically. Veil means a covering or a curtain. Any doubt in right-wing politics and left-wing politics? Hope you were able to understand.
no, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Can anyone read part one of the poem?
Can you hear the cry of helplessness of the child, who speaks for all the children of the world, to grown-ups who have created destructive weapons? The child says that the children will have no future if the adults continue to produce deadly weapons. Arms and ammunition put humanity in serious danger. The poem talks of the fears and worries to which the adults pay no attention or which they simply dismiss with their lives. Can you guess the lies? The lies usually no, we will not use arms against anyone. The world is safe. There is no need to worry. The child desperately repeats that grown-ups must stop destroying the world, but he finds that they don't listen to him. The problem is that only adults can build a better world, but it is the adults who are destroying. It does not make much difference when the children speak of peace, friendship, and fellowship. It is the adults who should understand the importance of peace and friendship in the world. In this unit, the child is pleading for to the grown-ups. Mark the use of pronoun. The poet refers to people only by pronoun. For clear comprehension, you need to know who the pronoun is referring to in each stanza.
Hmm. Thank you, David. Yes. So, can you hear the cry of helplessness of the child who speaks for all the children in the world to grown-ups who have created destructive weapons? Now, the poem talks of the fears and worries which the adults pay no attention. Okay, because when we hear of wars and weapons being created, okay, that creates a fear, especially in the children. Okay, and then they dismiss this fear by telling lies. Okay, the lies are usually no, we will not use arms against anyone, and the world is safe and there is no need to worry. These are the lies that the adults tell. Okay, and so the child desperately repeats that the grown-ups must stop destroying, but the child then finds that the world is not listening to him. Okay. And the problem is that only the adults can create a better world. Why? Because adults are grown-ups. They have the power, they have the resources, okay, they have the knowledge to create a better world. But instead of that, they are destroying it. They are the ones who are destroying it. Okay. And it does not make much difference when the children speak of peace, friendship, and fellowship. Okay, but the children are laying emphasis that the adults should understand the importance of peace and friendship in the world. Based on this, okay, check this out also. In like every stanza, pronouns are being used to refer to the different kinds of people. Okay, pronouns. Pronouns are what? Instead of David, I will say you. Okay, instead of my own name, I will say me. So instead of the names of the people, direct names, you use you, I, me, are, they, them. Okay, these are all what? These are called pronouns. The words which are used to address somebody, like in place of their name, not direct name, but still used to address somebody. Those are pronouns. Now, in the first stanza, the word you is referred to adults. In the second stanza, the word you refers to children of the world, and are refers to children, including the child who is speaking. Third stanza, them refers to the adults and the arm makers. Okay, the child knows the truth and tells the truth, whereas the adults know the truth but hide it with their lies. Okay, comparison is being made. Let's check out some questions. Why does a child want to speak to grown-ups about the arms factories?
The child wants to speak to grown-ups because the grown-ups are building arms which threaten the world, and only the grown-ups can bring about a change in the world.
Hmm. Yes, Miracle, that's right. Who are the adults deceiving?
The children,
The children. Yes. Uh, why does the child feel helpless?
Yeah, the children feel helpless because
like they are children and they can't do anything to change.
Hmm.
So they
They
are
can't do. Yes.
sending a message to the grown-ups, the adults.
Yes, that's right. Who does the child called my friends?
Um, the child calls out other children my
Children. Why does the child want the adults to to talk of peace and fellowship,
To stop wars.
to stop
Question.
wars? Hmm. Yes, because when the adults will talk of peace and fellowship, then only they'll be able to create a better world. Okay, when the adults will talk of peace and fellowship. Why does the child call it a deaf word? Daniel?
Yes. Why does the child call it a different? Mm. The child calls it a different because the world doesn't hear their problems
Hmm.
that they are facing.
Yes. The world does not hear their pleas, their cries for stopping it, okay, for peace, for fellowship. So that is why the children call it a deaf world. Okay, can anyone read this? Do you know?
The nation that possess nuclear weapons are referred to as the nuclear club. These nations are the USA, Russia, the United Kingdom, France, and China. The nations that have conducted nuclear tests are India, Pakistan, and North Korea. Concerned with the safety of the world, the Non-Proliferation Treaty (NPT) was signed on March 5, 1970. Currently, there are 189 nations, 189 nations which have signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty. By signing the NPT, a nation agrees that it will not transfer nuclear devices or technology to other nations, not use nuclear weapons except in response to a nuclear attack, use nuclear technology for peaceful purposes only.
Yes. So those nations which possess nuclear weapons, they are known as the nuclear club. Okay, and examples are USA, Russia, United Kingdom, France, and China. Okay, now the nations which have conducted nuclear tests are India, Pakistan, and North Korea. Now, see, earlier there was this thing, okay, where like if anything happened, they could just, you know, use nuclear weapons on each other. The countries could just use nuclear weapons on each other and destroy each other. If you remember, that happened during the earlier war times. But uh, for the safety of the world, okay, to maintain safety in the world, a non-proliferation treaty, NPT, was signed on March 5, 1970. Okay, there are right now there are 189 countries which have signed the NPT. By signing the NPT, what are the clauses under it? Not transfer nuclear devices or technology to other nations. Like you cannot transfer if, for example, USA has nuclear weapons, so it cannot transfer it to India. Okay, you cannot transfer the nuclear technology or weapons to India and not use nuclear weapons except in response to a nuclear attack. If somebody attacks you first, only then can you use a nuclear weapon to attack them back. Okay, uh, to respond to their attack, but you cannot directly attack um, a country with nuclear weapons. Use nuclear technology for peaceful purposes only. Okay, there are benefits also. to use the nuclear technology for peaceful purposes only. That is another clause of NPT. Okay, now the adults know the dangers of arms and yet they ignore them. They use arms, smaller arms, to settle small disputes within the family in the neighborhood. Arms are guns. Okay, in villages, people often wound or kill each other over various issues which can be settled amicably. Get together with other boys and girls of your area or village and invite the adults to a common place for a discussion. Okay, take care that during the discussion you do not behave like an advisor or preacher of peace. You politely steer the discussion in the right direction. This is about a group discussion. Okay, this is about a group discussion where you can discuss about the use of arms in, like, currently in the world. What's the use of arms and how people are using it? Okay, a discussion can take place on that. Now, we have part two of the poem and then adverbs. Let's check out the grammar part. Read the sentences given below. Listen carefully. Life is essentially affection. Like these are sentences from the poem. Okay. The word carefully and essentially are adverbs. Okay. In the sentences, listen carefully and life is essentially affection. The words carefully and essentially are adverbs. How? Because an adverb is used to describe a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Okay, an adverb is used to describe a verb, adjective, or an adverb. Adverbs generally end in ly. Okay, generally end in ly, but all words ending in ly are not adverbs. For example, lonely and friendly, they are ending with ly. The word lonely, okay, the word lonely, the word friendly, they are ending in ly, but they are not adverbs. Okay, they are adjectives. Lonely and friendly are adjectives. Some adverbs, they don't have a particular form, means they do not end with ly, but they are still adverbs. How? Fast, okay, or very, never, always, often, still, okay, well. These are the words which do not end with ly, but they are still used as adverbs. They are said to not have a particular form because they are just used directly, such as fast. We don't say fastly. She runs fastly. No, she runs fast. Okay. She is always late. Always. Okay. Adverb. Okay. Then, like other words, adverbs also have their antonyms. Okay. Uh, Antonyms means the word meaning the opposite. Okay, the opposite known as antonym. Now, when we have antonyms of adverbs, okay, means opposite words of adverb, they are known as adverbial antonyms. They are called adverbial antonyms. For example, the antonym of the adverb carefully is carelessly. Okay, means the opposite of then adverb carefully is the adverb carelessly. Now you have to tell me the opposite of this. Okay, we'll do a part of the exercise. Dash, he lost his baggage on the flight. You have to tell the opposite
Unfortunately,
of,
unfortunately,
yes,
he lost his bag on the flight.
yes, Miraculin, that's right. Unfortunately. Next one, tourists dash visit the Taj Mahal in Agra.
What does seldom mean?
Seldom means rarely, not often, rarely.
Okay. Um, tourist random visit the Taj Mahal in Agra.
Mm, say again.
Tourists seldom visit the Taj Mahal in Agra.
Yes. So the opposite is for seldom is often.
Okay.
Okay. Because seldom means rarely and not so often. So its opposite is often. Okay. One should dash be true to one's word.
One should always be true to one's word.
Yes. Yes, Anil. That's right. The soldiers fought dash for their country.
Fearless.
Fearlessly.
Yeah.
Okay. The boy who was running dash won the race.
Pass.
Fast. Yes. Yes, that's right. Good work, all of you. Okay, we will stop here for today. Tomorrow we will do the second part of this and we will do part two of the poem. This part. Okay. Part two of the poem. And I'll be meeting you all for your class of TMA at 10 a.m. today. Okay. Haniel and David. Please log in at
Yes, ma'am.
10 a.m. I'll be meeting you all at 10 a.m. today. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, bye. Have a good day.
Bye, ma'am.
Alright.
Thank you.